Good afternoon and welcome to AROBS Transylvania software results call for the first quarter of 2025. My name is Zuzanna Kurek and I'm Investor Relations Manager at AROBS and I will moderate today's call. Before we begin, I would like to mention that this call is being recorded and the recording of the call will be updated on our website today. As stated in the call invite, by joining the video conference, you automatically and implicitly consented to being recorded. If you do not consent to being recorded, please leave the call. Firstly, I would like to introduce the management team that is here with me today and will present our Q1 2025 results. I am joined today by Wojciech Opran, Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board of Directors, and Bogdan Ciungradi, Chief Financial Officer. In terms of organizational aspects, we will follow our standard call setup, which means the management will deliver a presentation outlining the Q1 2025 results, and later we'll have a Q&A session. Please note that all the participants are put on mute. If you would like to ask a question, please type it in the chat box. Feel free to do so during the presentation, and we will answer all the questions in chronological order as soon as the presentation is over. Last but not least, I would like to mention that we might be making forward-looking statements today during this teleconference regarding future performance of AROBS and that actual results may differ materially. We encourage you to review the disclaimer that we have included in this presentation, which is now available on your screen. The disclaimer applies equally to all the statements made in today's call. We are now done with the official organizational part, so we can kick off the call, and I will pass now the floor to Wojciech Opran, who will share with you some insights about our performance in the first 3 months of 2025.
Hello everyone. Great to see you again on the call. So I would like to underline some of the information that I already communicate with the market. And AROBS in Q1 2025, well, we currently continue our expansion. So we explore continually the M&A opportunities, strategic partnership to accelerate and growth, while investing in new sales office and develop delivery centers in the US and UK to support it globally. And we also strengthen our position in digital transformation. And as we communicate before, we launched the largest digitalization project in Romania, implementation at Babeș-Bolyai University in Cluj. That will be possible to expand across different public and private sector in the future. So we're exploring right now different other partnership in and development in this digitalization world with different other public institutions and universities. Also, we maintain business resilience and agility despite significant economic and political challenges, both nationally, as you know, and globally, of course. And we continue the strict cost efficiency measures that we took, optimize organizational structure in order to support profitability in this challenging economic environment. So that's in few words the Q1. In the terms of M&A and Greenfield, I would like to underline a few of the things that we did. We signed yesterday the acquisition on SVT Electronics. The transaction will strengthen our position in the market for digitalization and logistics, and will expand the footprint across Europe because that's a company with partners in Western Europe with more than 20 distributors for their solution, which is based on tachograph. I don't know if you are familiar with this, but European legislation reduced the for the vehicles, reduced the actually the tonnage for vehicles from 7 to 2.5 tons, and that will create for us a much bigger market. So every vehicle need to have a commercial vehicle over 2.5 tons need to have tachographs and to report all the data. That will come in development next year, and we prepare actually for, and that's all the area of growth. On the other side, as we inform the market, and it's present in different areas, we are in the advanced negotiation for an acquisition of 70% of a company, of a US-based company, with 60 specialists in the US, so no outsourcing, no nothing, specialists in the US working for the US market, and with that movement we plan to strengthen our presence in the US market. The subject is, the transaction is subject to the extraordinary general meeting on the 28th of May 2025. Also, we have, if you go back a little bit, we strengthen our M&A pipeline, and we have some opportunities under analysis in different stages, and we plan to, we'll report, of course, when is the time. We also open a new sales office, and for those we invest in the US, UK, and we are planning also in the Swiss market. We already have the established greenfield company in the US with that will strengthen our presence, identify new customer, and that is in charge with development in the group vertical areas, but for the US market. Okay, so now in few data, our turnover increased 14% in Q1 versus Q1 2024. Cash and cash equivalents are 280 million RON, which is a plus of 20 million versus 2024. That means we have enough bandwidth for the further acquisition. EBITDA is, we see an increase of 2% versus Q1 2024, and the net profit is slightly decreased compared with Q1 2024, a 5% margin. Now that we focus on the segments, software services generate 72 million in revenue, accounted for 60% of turnover, compared with 82 in Q1 2024. That will give you an indication that actually the software services is decreasing as an importance in the whole overall group, and that's the area that is accumulated most of the cost. And that's why you see the profitability kind of decrease, because there is a switch between area, and there is we need probably time to react and address. On the software services, as I mentioned, increased commercial effort, new sales team, greenfield investment, and targeted business expansion. Also, we maintain focus on integrated acquisition and consolidated synergy in a few areas: medical, embedded, and cybersecurity. So those are the key areas where we focus all our effort. Going to products, we increased the revenue from this segment. Revenue from this segment increased 20%. We reached 22 million in Q1 2025, and that's accounted for approximately 20% of the total turnover of the group. The strong performance confirmed that the product diversification strategy and continuous investment in proprietary product are delivering currently results, and that create more stability at the company and at the group level. And the solid result recorded at the level of this segment contribute to financial operational stability, offsetting actually the slowdown in the software service area that we mentioned before. And the third area, as we said, we always mention that we stay on three pillars: software services, software product, and integrated systems. Now the revenue reached 26.2 million, driven by ongoing implementation of the national pension, public pension project. that was signed last year and implemented in December, plus the Q1 in 2025. This performance, I guess, together with what we said about university and those digitalization projects, demonstrate the group ability actually to capitalize the public sector and digitalization project. Looking forward, there are many digitalization projects and we are bidding on them. We are looking for expanding this in public and private sector, and that of course depends on the stability of the political and economic environment domestically. So as you see, we have the area of software services that is mostly international, and we have two segments that are local, integrated services and products, plus some of the area of products are in the area of international projects. So we maintain the balance, and in order to diversify the risk and to pass this turbulent time in the local market area. Good. So I would, I guess, pass the baton to Bogdan for consolidated financial results, and then we'll continue from there. And I will be more than happy to respond to your questions. Follow my presentation if there are no questions right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining our investors call. I will present the Q1 consolidated financial performance. In the first quarter, the group had a significant increase in turnover, about 14%, which was fueled by two of our verticals, by software products development and integrated systems. Integrated systems had 26 million contribution to the total turnover, and in software products we see a very good development of about 20% growth. Software services segment had a decrease of 17%, which is due to the slowdown on demand, mainly on the automotive vertical. What I want to mention is that this slowdown was anticipated in our budget, and what we see both in terms of turnover and in cost evolution, it's slightly better than we budgeted for Q1. EBITDA at the consolidated level reached the 17 million threshold and is 2% over the last year in absolute value. The cost evolution are detailed in the coming slides, and I will present them in detail. Just to mention that we have a 14% EBITDA margin, which we consider it's a good one, especially when you have the integrated system segment with significant contribution. We know that that segment has lower margin than the other two. Now we come to our traditional analysis, the performance of organic business versus M&A. Overall development of the business, the organic business, the M&A business grew by 6 million, and this was mainly on the software services area, where the Infobest group, which was acquired last year in May, came with most of the contribution in terms of the increase. One interesting thing is that for the software services, the M&A, the companies that we acquired in the last year had more than 50% contribution on the segment turnover. They reached 56% weight in the revenues for the software services. The organic software services business had a decline of around 40%, as we said, mainly coming from the automotive sector, decrease in demand. Software products increase is coming mainly from the organic business. We have the fleet management solution and the HR and people administration solutions that had very good performance in the first quarter. Looking at the software services, we see that we have an overall decrease in turnover of 17%. The cost of sales also had a decrease of 14%, and we see that we continue to optimize our costs because we are anticipated this decrease in top line, and we continue to have measures for optimizing also the cost structure. The personnel cost, the share option decreased, the subcontractors, third party also had, all of them had a decrease Q on Q. Software products, 20% increase, reaching 22 millions. A slightly higher increase in the cost, 22%. And this is coming from internalizing in last year some of the functions that we outsource in the software development and in the maintenance. However, we have a very strong gross margin, 53%, in line with last year. These results do not include the acquisition of CVT Electronics that Voicu mentioned before. Actually, what happened yesterday was the completion of the transaction. The transaction was signed beginning of March, but we had the completion. So starting with May, we will consolidate also the results in our financial performance. Integrated systems, yeah, it's the impact of mainly of the project with the National Pension House. The project will continue till first half of the next year, but most of it would be, let's say, implemented this year. The costs are also following the revenue trend because in Q1 it was also a delivery of hardware infrastructure and also some analysis services attached.
Bogdan?
Yes.
Sorry, there is a question about integrated system revenue stream.
Maybe I will read it out, and Bogdan, you can actually already address it because it's very related.
Yes.
So the question is AROBS the lead in the contract with Casa Națională de Pensii Publice? If so, does it mean all revenues of the contract pass through the P&L of AROBS Consolidated Group financials?
AROBS is the leader of the consortium for the contract, but not all the revenues are passing through our P&L. Only our share of the project, where we act as a principal, are recognized as revenues in our P&L. In case of other projects where we only act as an agent, we only recognize the margin. So here is not the full value of the project delivered until now. It's only our share of revenues based on our what is in our purpose of the contract, our part of the contract. Okay, coming back to the sales and marketing, we have an increase of around 1.3 million compared with the first quarter last year. This is mainly driven by the investment we've made in the greenfield in US. We set up a new company there, and we are building a sales team that will give us more opportunities to deliver projects on different verticals that we already have. And also we have the effect of last year, where in second quarter we've internalized some of the sales team on the products area, and now we see their full cost here. General and admin, there is a net increase of 0.7. We have a couple of effects here. It's the effect of the general and admin cost from Infobest that joined the group last year in May. So in first quarter last year, we didn't have their costs. Now we see them in full. This was around 1 million. We also have an increase in the depreciation due to depreciation of client relationship, the intangible that we recognized which is also related to Infobest. And also we have some savings on the group without Infobest compared with last year. So it's a plus and minus. Okay, the last slide on the P&L performance, we wanted to clarify the let's say the different trend in the evolution of EBITDA, which increased by 0.3 million, 2% compared with last year. But on the other hand, we see a decrease in the net profit of 1.5 million. There are two effects. One is coming from the increase in amortization and depreciation, where we have the reception of the building of for office space that we have on one of our companies, which is UCMS, the one with the HR solution, and also the release of the first version of the HR platform on a cloud-based HR platform. So we invested and to change the technology, and we had the first release at the end of last year. And also we have the client relationship from Infobest that I already mentioned. So this all add to an increase in amortization of 0.9 million. The second effect, it's coming from the net financial result, where we were impacted in Q1 by the depreciation of the US dollar against euro and RON. That was coming after the new Trump administration start mentioning some of the measures they want to take, and that would lead to a depreciation of the USD against euro and RON, and that was a hit of minus 1.4. On the other hand, we had an increase on the revenues from interest from the money we raised on the share capital increase, and that we want to, let's say, to preserve their value. So the net effect is 0.8. So this is why, while we're having an operational performance, a better operational performance in absolute value, EBITDA plus 0.3, still we see the minus 1.5 as net result. Balance sheet. We continued to strengthen our cash position. So we have a net effect of plus 20 million RON. I'm saying net effect because during this period we also repaid some of the loans that we raised for supporting our M&A activities, and we continue to have a very strong bank financing debt ratio, which is below 1, and that give us the flexibility and the credibility for the future to access different ways of funding if needed, the new acquisition or the current activity. That was all from my side. Thank you, and I'm waiting for your questions.
Thank you very much. This concludes the presentation of our Q1 2025 results, and we will now open the floor for questions. As I mentioned at the opening, if you would like to ask a question, please type it in the chat box. For the sake of those who will be rewatching the recording of this call, we will be reading out loud all the questions, and the management will address them one by one. I see the questions are coming in. We have one new question, but if it's all okay with you, let's hold for 1 minute for the questions to come so we don't stop along. Please type them now and we will start the Q&A once we have more questions. Thank you.
Nu pe tot ecranul.
I see we have for now just one question, so let's go ahead. Okay, we have two questions, so we can start with the others. Just so you know, once we run out of the questions, we'll be concluding the call. Therefore, please type them when you can. So
Yeah.
the first question is, can you give some KPI, sales, etc., regarding US acquisition, subject to EGSM approval, growth of this business, area it operates in, and benefits for AROBS?
Yes, we are in the, and I'm fully involved into this negotiation together with my colleagues. I would say that sales are mostly related, or all they are related to US customers, and that's a company with US delivery centers in the area of AI and digitalization for big corporation in the US. So as we will evolve through the acquisition process, because we'll take the acceptance on the General Assembly, we'll inform more about this on both top line and bottom line, and as well as integration with and benefits that we can have through that acquisition and proposed or expected consolidated results.
Thank you. I see we have multiple questions related to this acquisition. So really it sparked the interest from investors. So the next one is, which business segment does the greenfield investment in the US belong to? Does it fall under the software services segment as well? Thank you.
The greenfield investment will capitalize all the areas where we have presence, and I would say here software services and products. It depends, because of usually it's a process of understanding the market and products. For example, we have a product solution that we develop in Indonesia, and we'll come with news later on about how that Indonesia perform under the product area. Indonesia being a country with significant higher population than Romania, and we'll come up with those data as soon as they will come. Especially as I said, greenfield investment will cover both areas, and will capitalize the expertise that we have in various sectors.
Thank you. The next question, I believe you already answered, but I'll read it out. Can you be more specific about the business specific profile of the targeted acquisition in Nevada, US?
Yes, as I mentioned, and I will underline that the business specific is their digitalization solution for the US company in top 100 companies in the US. Capitalizing all the new trends from AI to digitalization and also data analysis. So we'll come as soon as we'll conclude the transaction with more data.
Thank you. Could you please give us an indication on the results for Q1 versus the budgeted Q1 for 2025? Did you encounter some specific headwinds or positive developments worth to mention? Thank you.
Yeah, I would say that's the product that the solution that we develop, or integrated services, provide the most, I would say, headwind, because usually you don't know when we are going to conclude and take over different phases of the project. So that was actually one of the good results that were not maybe included in the budget. But I'm not sure, Bogdan, if you can comment, were these integrated services included in the budget or in the forecasted budgeted or not?
Yes, it was the performance that we have on the integrated systems was included in what we budgeted for Q1. What I can say is that overall performance in terms of top line, it was about 2% over what we've budgeted. And we see positive developments compared with the budget, mainly on the software services, but also on the products. So we have two segments that performed in Q1 top line better than we expected. And also we managed to run with lower cost than we budgeted for Q1.
Thank you very much. I see we have run out of questions for today. Thank you all. I wanted to mention to you clearly already know, but on 28th of May, we will be holding a general meeting of shareholders. And as always, we invite you to join us either in person or online via e-vote. The next time we'll hear each other during a teleconference, it's going to be on 1st of September, after we publish the results for the first half of the year on 27th of August after the market closes. Thank you all very much for joining us, and we wish you an excellent day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, and let's be in touch. Thank you.